Welcome to Monday Night Football, where Soccer Town USA comes to you. Todd, brought to you by
Elliott Media. Big shout out to Elliott Media who made this possible this year.
Yes.
And thank you to the Matt Gaston Community Center.
Gaston? Oh, wait. You went in the last episode called Gaston instead of Gaston?
Lo siento, mi amigo. Gracias para Matt Gaston.
Yeah.
Community Center. It's been a great facility for us to do this show. Full disclosure, we weren't sure what was going to happen with the old WDNN getting bought out and not having that facility. So this has been a very soft landing spot for us.
Yeah,
and,
we can actually talk about that now. In the beginning of the year, we couldn't do that. I mean, it was still a little bit of things going on, but now public knowledge is out there.
Yeah, so WDNN is no longer be doing any kind of like local programming to our knowledge. So this was a nice landing spot for us. And Judy Elliott with Elliott Media was nice enough to make things happen here. And our producer, Brandon, making it happen every week. He's been great to us. And this facility's been great. Juan, this is the final episode of the year.
It is the final episode. With that, let's run into some OptiLink scoreboards. Really quick, Northwest had a game on Monday.
They had a very busy week.
Yeah,
they pulled out the win on Jenkins on Monday.
So let's just go there. Northwest had a game on Monday. They won 3-0 versus Jenkins. Then they had an Elite Eight game, which versus Gilmer, which they won 3-1. Some extracurriculars took place there.
Hey, we'll get to it.
Yeah,
we're not glossing. We're not yada over.
And then we have Northwest. Then they won the semifinal to advance 1-0. Then you had Coahulla Creek girls bowing out to Pike County 6-0. You had Coahulla Creek boys playing versus Columbus, and they won 1-0 on Tuesday. And then they came back and played Friday, and they lost to Shaw 3-0. And then you had Dalton beating St. Pius on Tuesday 2-1. And then Dalton bowing out to Westminster in PKs, which we'll discuss that.
Yeah.
And really then you had Dalton Academy losing to
don't get me on that.
Fannin County.
It was Fannin. Yeah.
So if you looked at
also that was controversial.
Todd went back. He was a little hot. There was videos.
Emotions were running high.
That someone was possibly offsides. If you went back and look at the video and you can see them play it, it's kind of hard. But from the angle of NFHS, it was sort of looked like there was a player coming back. So we did. I think Todd didn't issue an apology. He just backtracked the post.
That's right. Yeah. There's an edit button and there's delete buttons. I just kind of quietly went and
But so that's the OptiLink scoreboard. I mean, Todd, we got a minute left. I mean, give quick and takes before we go into a commercial break.
So I'll just give you my overall vibes on the playoffs. We had 4 teams going into last week, or 5 rather, that could have advanced
6
and made it. And so to only be getting 1 through to the final, here's the thing. I know I should be grateful, and I am, right? I am. But
spoiled.
Yeah, we're spoiled. And I've been, brought up with this expectation that we have, 4 teams make it to a semifinal, including the Creek girls. And I'm like, man, let's get 3 through this thing. And, just to get 1, it's a little bit of a downer. And the fashion in which it happened, that doesn't help make me feel better about it.
I mean, there's a couple games. I think if you play them 10 times, 9 out of 10, the result will be different.
I don't disagree with you.
But we'll discuss that more. Like I said, we've got a show, we got a couple guest appearances today. But with that, we're getting ready to go to commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit of Todd's alma mater, Northwest Bruins.
Do it.
I'm Dr. Michelle Little.
And I'm Dr. Kayla Gibo with Foundation Direct Family Care. We wanted to start a membership-based primary care practice.
But we're doctors, not business people.
I'm Kylie Roy with Biltwell Bank. I listen to their pitch and help them scale from startup to owning their own building.
Biltwell sees the value of small businesses in the community and supports their ingenuity.
Because every business owner doesn't have an MBA, our bank is Biltwell.
Member FDIC.
Who's up for some football?
That's not football. This is football.
And Andy, there's one thing that we all can agree on. That's it. North Georgia is the home for new and pre-owned vehicles. And don't forget accessories, parts, service, and collision needs.
Claro que sí se puede. Come see us.
Hey, That's our part.
Hey, and welcome back to Monday Night Football, the final episode of the year. So let's just get right out to it. The team that made it to the final, out of all the ones I was disappointed about, it is my alma mater, Northwest Whitfield, getting it done, and they are going to the final. However, it wasn't the most traditional way. Last week they had a really busy week. I'd say they had a Coahulla Creek schedule.
You know what? I think Isa and Coach Jacobo had a little, they decided, I'm going to steal a playbook out of his book and see if I can.
3 games in 1 week. It was all planned.
But, as we mentioned, they had a game on Monday.
Because it was postponed from the previous Friday.
So they played a Jenkins squad and they Sweet 16. Mm-hmm. They came out on top 3-0. Todd, it looks like your boy, White Chocolate Part 2, Connor Stiles.
You know what? I think he's got his own. He's Mr. Playoff, is what he is. He's a good player during the regular season, and then he just turns it up a notch in the playoffs. He started this off last year, and now he's done it again, and he just keeps cranking out the goals. And to be fair, when you're having dimes served up by Chris Tapia, the way he's serving these set pieces in, it's all he can do. But
did you have a video of this? Is that what we're looking at?
That's what we're about to roll through here. So we got 3 highlights for you. This is all versus Jenkins. So we have Connor Stiles with a goal here with the assist by Chris Tapia to get him up. Nice near post run by Connor and putting it away. And then we're going to roll into then there's an own goal. At first I thought he had gotten his head to another one, but then it's an own goal, so that put him up by 2. And then a player that I look to really explode in next year is Yahir Navarro. His brother played at Northwest, went on to play at Lee, and I really think this may be his team moving forward, and he steps up and gets the 3rd goal. And so Northwest puts Jenkins out, and then they just got to flip the script, go right into Tuesday night in their Elite 8 game. Yeah,
I mean, no rest for the weary. They come in, they play Gilmer County, which is a team just across from the mountains here, and they come out with a 3-1 win. But the worst part about that is, and you got insight on this, they ended up both teams ended up going down, unforeseen circumstances. Soccer play happens, heat of the moment, some things start happening. Players come off the bench, 3 players ejected.
Yep.
For each side. Northwest still holds on to win. They play 8-on-8 for the last 32 minutes of the game.
Yeah, and it's crazy. And I thought the big deal was going to be the short turnaround, right? I thought, in the minute I started thinking about it, this is nothing but club ball.
Yeah.
This is what they do on an average Saturday in club ball.
Yeah.
Play 2 games. So I don't know why I was actually sweating it for them like it was a big deal. And I'm sure that played into Coach Gutierrez's head. He's like, this ain't no big deal.
So I did see that they did try to appeal the suspensions, but so now my question to you is: Are those players able to play in the final now, or are they suspended for a half and then can play the second half? Because it was the second they got suspended, they got red card in the first half.
I have not gotten confirmation on that. My hope is that it's going to be, they were served the first half and all the last game, and they're done. That would be my hope, but I don't know that.
Because I'm just saying, typically if you get a red card and it's in the half, you a half, miss out a half for the next game. Yep. Then you come back second half, or if it's a 2-game, you miss a whole game, half. Then
I haven't done my detective work enough, but we'll just have to wait and see. I do have some highlights from that game too. Matter of fact, I got more highlights than you probably want to see. We got 3 goals here. Leading off,
Connor Stiles
doing it again. Nice finish from him, getting them started. Then we got a goal by Yahir Navarro,
which will be rolling into that right now. Nice little work there.
And then to top it off, Connor Stiles again from Chris Tapia. Who else? And I'm telling you right now, nobody puts a ball on a plate better than that kid consistently. It's going to be right on. I'm telling you.
I would rival Joe Gonzalez.
Joe Gonzalez goes on goal.
Well, but
Tapia puts him in from 40 yards right on top of the 6.
And Joe does the same thing from 40 to 60. It's just he's gotten the show.
You got your horse, I got my horse.
Same.
All right, hey, and we're going to show you this, and I'm going to show you this highlight, and this is the fight that broke out. I'm going to show you. You see the Northwest player going at. He's tracking down the player from Gilmer. Bad tackle from behind. You see the player from Gilmer. He runs all the way across the field. And you know it's not going to be any good once he gets there. And you can see he draws back. And once you see this, I'm going to cut it off because I'm not going to do that to players. And just know that just absolute mayhem breaks loose. And it just gets really ugly from there. 3 players ejected. As you said, the bench is clear. It was just a bad scene. And honestly, it wasn't a good look for Gilmer.
And then they came back, and like I said, they were able to hold off at 8 onside, 3-1, and then that put them into the final or semifinal on Friday versus Jefferson. Which I looked at Jefferson. I thought this would probably be their toughest game, just seeing the pedigree that they played in the region that they come out of, Lake Oconee.
It's a dogfight over there.
Johnson out there, but also saw some schools. So they come out 1-0. And we will talk about this now. And now they're going on to the final. The only team out of the area, and they're going to the final.
Yeah, and we can roll that last goal there from the state semifinals, just 1-0. Really couldn't tell who got the goal, but I can tell you who put it in there. Chris Tappy. It was a throw in. So okay. But that put them. It was they only needed that one goal. Now they're in the final versus Johnson.
Yep, they will play on Wednesday,
7:30 at
McEachern High School. So there should be a lot of fans. It's literally just down I-75. Then you got to go some back roads to get to McEachern. So I'm expecting a festive event that day. How
confident are you that Northwest can get it done?
I think they got a chance. The name Johnson now is, you think Johnson, but this Johnson squad, from what we've heard from someone really plugged into high school soccer, they are not as strong as they have been in past years.
And I'm not putting them down.
Yeah,
they are a great side,
but they're not the Johnson that you would think of.
You might equate it to when maybe Dalton has an off year.
Yeah, correct.
It's really not an off year. They're still all that. It's just that maybe not the peak at where they've been in the past. So,
well, with that, we'll discuss more. But with that, we're getting ready to go to commercial break. When we come back, we'll talk more Monday Night Football.
Why should you choose OptiLink Internet?
I chose OptiLink because of the great local service.
We know computers, and OptiLink knows internet with high-speed symmetrical uploads and downloads.
My customers depend on me for safety and security, and I need fast and dependable internet. That's why I chose OptiLink.
Some people say you can't have fast internet. I say, oh yes you can with OptiLink.
Experience the difference. Call today, 706-529-1313.
If you could live anywhere, where would it be? And what would it be like? Open up a world of possibilities when you sell your home and make those dreams real. At ColdwellBanker.com, you can get an instant estimate on your home, compare cost of living city by city, and learn more about our revolutionary seller's assurance program. So it really is true. Your dreams don't have to be just dreams. At ColdwellBanker.com.
Welcome back to Monday Night Football. One of the things I love most, Todd, about this show is when we get to hear perspectives and when we get to have guests over. And tonight we have somebody who really was an embodiment of this season, somebody that we got to watch, somebody that we got to know, somebody who we're still going to watch in the next step, Ali Rosales. Ali, welcome to Monday Night Football.
Thank you for having me. I'm really excited.
Hey, don't worry. If you don't know what he's going to say, I don't either. Believe me, this is not scripted.
This is live.
Yeah, this is not scripted. So... Ali, big year for you. You are going to be continuing your career at Georgia Gwinnett College. Really what we want to do here is just bring you in and talk about your soccer story, specifically in high school, and how it developed into a offer to go play college. So you came up, and as Juan called you, Miss NGSA. You started playing club soccer. How old were you when you started playing club?
So I was about 9, and I remember when I played my first ever, it was North Whitfield League. So it was a bad league. It was not good. And I played my first game, and I hated it. I hated soccer. I was 8 or 9, and I hated it. And then I think the next year my dad enrolled me again, and that's when I actually started to love the sport. So I kind of started to play at a late age. But yeah, so after that, I joined Bells. John actually scouted me from that Whitfield County League. So I started to play Bells. And then I've known Coach K my whole entire life. And so, I mean, not my whole entire life, obviously, but since my dad was working with him. And so, yeah, he helped me get into that. I joined in GSA the last season that I could because I'm not eligible to play for club level anymore. So I joined him the last season that I could, and he helped me get to that point.
Did it make you sad that when you were like, I've aged out?
Yeah.
Was that like a sad moment?
Yeah, it was sad. But I'm still like joining his team. I think the next step for me with NGSA is possibly becoming a coach. I mean, that's something that I've always liked to do. I like to
hear that. We'll circle back to that at a later time, kids.
But yeah.
So you mentioned, you started at a young age, you hated it, you came back, you loved it. What is it that you say you love most about playing youth level, and then what makes you love it so much that you're going to keep on playing and coaching, maybe, as you just said?
I think definitely the people around you. I think once you find your people, they really inspire you to do great things. One person, for example, Leslie. I mean, I didn't really know her until I started to play with her, and she really impacted me on my life, and she coaches as well. So just like looking at people around me like makes me want to do something better.
Leslie who? We'll give her...
Leslie Alinus.
Okay.
Legend, Leslie.
Girl, what's up?
Playing for North Georgia.
She's also a favorite of the show.
Yes.
We're big Leslie Alinus fans.
Big fan.
So, what's the weather like, Roy? So I'll ask you this. I hear a lot of people say, like, in order to go to the next level, you really got to love the day-to-day, the grind, if you will, the practices. Do you find that to be true? Do you like that aspect, or do you live for game day?
I think that I don't know. That's a hard question. I feel like you obviously have to work to where you get to where you want to be. And I feel like part of that is having that grind, hitting the fields when you don't want to, hitting the gym when you don't want to. But
you kind of have to embrace that.
Yeah. But at the same time, like, there's no better feeling than a game day. There's no better feeling of, tomorrow, like I'm going to wake up tomorrow and it's going to be game day. It's going to be like stuff like that. But I think you definitely have to work to where you want to go. And working hard is just all part of the journey.
Let me ask you, talking about the future, at what point, if you could walk us through, where did the mentality go to, I want to play at a college level, to I can play at a college level, to I'm being recruited to play at a college level? How'd that story fold that led you to Georgia Gwinnett?
Yeah, so when I first started playing for Dalton High School, because I feel like playing for high school really impacted my life in such a powerful way. So I feel like when I first started playing, I never would have thought that I would have actually taken these years of my life seriously. I never thought that I would be able to play professionally. I mean, not professionally, play in college.
It's still on the table.
Yeah.
Still on the table.
Yeah. I never would have thought I would be able to play in college. I feel like all my life I've had a lot of doubters. So it feels like really, really special. And it feels so great to finally prove them wrong and prove myself right, that I was capable of doing that.
So what you're telling me, you thrive on the hate?
Yeah.
You love it?
Hate more.
Hate more. It just empowers me.
Yeah.
So what did the recruitment process look like for you? Like, what was your first interaction with a college coach? Mm-hmm. What did that look like? Did they see you at a tournament? How did that go? Because we find it's different for everyone.
Mm-hmm. So my first ever college interaction would be Reinhardt University. Okay. Big love for Reinhardt there. It was a really hard decision to make in the end, but I went to go. Shout out to Coach K as well, because he helped me get to that point. I went to go with two of my other friends, and we went to go to Reinhardt. We spent the day over there, and we trained with the girls, had a lift with them, lunch. They were really nice. So I'll never say anything bad about Reinhardt. It's a really good college and a really good soccer team, and I look forward to playing them next year. But yeah, so I went there, and I liked it a lot, and I thought I would end up going there until just one day had a showcase, and I was emailing a bunch of coaches, and Georgia Gwinnett was the only coach that emailed me back and said that he would be there. So yeah, he came to my game, and we ended up losing that game 5-3, but he had to leave in the middle of it, and as soon as he left, I scored 3 goals.
Oh man.
Yeah. And Coach K was texting him, oh, you're not gonna believe this, Allie just scored. Oh, Allie just scored again. Oh, Allie just finished up the hat trick. So so he heard that, and obviously Coach Mike, he texted me, and he was like, hey, I didn't get to see the best of your ability in that game, so I'd really like you to come train with the girls. So I was really nervous and scared. I went to go train with the girls, and they were so nice. They were so good and such like a high level that I feel like I would really better myself in the game and compete with them. And I ended up smashing it. I scored like 2 goals in the scrimmage that we played.
That always helps.
Yeah.
Nothing tops scoring in a scrimmage. Like I did that.
So we got to his room, his office, and he's like, I'm not letting you go to Reinhardt. I'm not letting you go anywhere. You're going to Georgia Gwinnett College. So I think
that
like
had
that
to be
really,
awesome to be wanted in that kind of way.
Yeah, and all the girls were so nice. Like, oh, Ellie, you're gonna be in the starting lineup next year. Ellie, this. Ellie. So it was so nice, and it was like so nice to hear, and it made me feel really good. And
so your interaction came actually as an introduction through a showcase in club soccer. We've had that. We've had it's crazy just the different variations we have, like when people get recruited. So just real quickly, if you had to give a tip to a player wanting to move on to the next level, what one piece of advice would you give them?
Make your highlight reel and email college coaches. They're not going to come to you as easy as you think.
We've heard that a lot from coaches.
Email
Make your highlight reel.
Yeah, make your highlight reel and email them.
From the source.
Right there. I mean, Allie will definitely look forward to going ahead and watching your games at Georgia Gwinnett. I told you before the show, you were the first interview here. You're definitely going to still have a following after this. And I'm not going to name any names, but I know of a college soccer coach who has told me one day I want to make sure to get Ashley, you, and Kendra playing again together for their college team. I'm not going to say who it is, but what do you feel about the future when it comes to that, just really quick as we wrap up?
I'm really excited. I think going with Kendra is really, really going to help me and help my game. And it's going to be sad to see the trio departing, me, Ashley, and Kenny. So it's going to be really sad, but I'm really happy for Ashley that she chose Reinhardt and that she's going to work her game over there. And I'm really excited for me and Kenny this season.
Beautiful. I mean, anything else you want to add? I wish we could have you forever.
Thank you so much for coming and joining us, especially on short notice. And and best wishes to you.
Thank you so much.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back with more here on Monday Night Football.
Here's 2 of the nicest guys in the car business.
Hey, it's Eddie and Greg from North Georgia Toyota. We're taking a little break from doing commercials, do a little fishing. Hey, I'm not fishing, I'm catching. All right, hang in there, don't let it get away.
Don't let your big deal get away at North Georgia Toyota.
Greg, somebody's gonna say, we can't do that. What do we say? We say, oh yes, we can. That's only at North Georgia Toyota in Dalton. Come see us. Bring it in.
Why should you choose OptiLink Internet?
When I work from home, I need fast, reliable internet. OptiLink provides that with no hidden fees.
Our customers depend on us for great service and quality. And that's why we chose OptiLink Internet.
As we serve the needs of our clients, we need reliable internet service. That's why I chose OptiLink as my hometown provider.
Some people say you can't get fast internet. I say, oh yes you can with OptiLink.
Experience the difference. Call today.
And welcome back to Monday Night Football. As you can see, we have Diego back. He made it back just for that interview that we just had with Ali Rosales.
I think that's literally, I think that's literally the only reason he managed to get here when he did.
That trio of Dalton High, I mean, y'all know how much of a Dalton hater I was coming into the show. That's a big reason of why I was like, wait a second. Yeah, wait a second.
That's how it works.
Something.
That's how it works.
Yeah.
We all came in here like with these allegiances to certain schools, and then after a little while, you're like, okay. Maybe
we'll talk about that later in the Dalton segment.
But it was good. But it was good to see Ali, discussing her road and travel. And like she said, the number one thing is email. I think the exception is that very top tier talent that is playing with the U.S. national team, U15s, U17s. Those are probably already on the radars of coaches. But like for the NAIA D3, D2, you're going to have to push out, tape if you want to go out there. So
I'm directing traffic here too. Our next guest is coming into the green room.
Yeah. Oh, beautiful special guest.
But hey, so now this is we got to go keep the show going. This is Cullowhilla Creek segment. This is a Cullowhilla Creek segment. We got the Cullowhilla had both boys and girls make it into the next, the final rounds. You had Cullowhilla Creek making their deepest run in history.
On the girls' side,
On the girls' side.
That shattered it. I mean, their deepest run before was a Sweet 16.
Yeah.
And just smashing that and going right on through to the Final Four. That's
they went down to play Pike County. They go down 6-0 to Pike County, but then Pike went on into the semifinals. Are they in the final, Todd? I didn't even look on GHSA.
Yeah, they're in the final because that was a semifinal.
Oh, that's right. They were. So
yeah.
No shame in that, losing to finalists.
Pike was an absolute powerhouse. I chatted with the coaches and stuff, and they were a loaded team. They would have played like any with Dalton. They would have played with Northwest.
No, they wouldn't.
You don't think so?
No.
Come on.
No, I think Dalton would have got them 4 or 5-0.
I agree with him. I agree.
Dalton put 10 on Culla.
Yeah,
it was still to beat Culla, but it was. But the thing is, here's the thing. Pike County is the only I think the public high school in that county. I think the county's got like 20,000 people. So all the kids are going to go to one school. They've probably been playing since
the same club too.
Since they were like 6, 7, 8, 9 years old.
It makes a difference.
So it makes a big difference. You get the best of the best from Whitfield County and Dalton Public Schools.
Well, I mean,
put them on a team.
What a super team that would be.
I call it now, and I've been saying this for years. You get let's get a little private school that's just going to be an athletic private school. You get the best soccer players from all the county and city.
County is public.
I know, but whatever. Not in 4A. We can do a 4A and play St. Pius and Marist. That's another story. But this is Cutler Creek edition. We're
he's jumping segments.
Well,
I'm with Juan here. I'm not gonna lie.
I'll tell you, I'm really proud of Cutler Creek. They they put together a great run this year. They took care of business, and I'll boil it down to their moment was that where they clinched region against Sonoraville. I really did not think that was going to happen. I thought that was a tall order for them to go away and down there and get the result, and they did. And I feel like they parlayed. You like that?
I love it. I just came back from Vegas,
for the man that's been in
you
Vegas.
Go ahead and do
I feel like they parlayed that into a really nice playoff run, and they're going to lose a little bit this year, but I think that base, and there's a really good 8th grade class coming up, and I think that's just going to add more depth to that program.
But they're young, so
that's the best part. I mean, you have to keep increasing your standard in your bar as you go on, and they've done it. So that's always good.
And then they then we wrap into the boys. Cutler Creek boys. So this is the only school that had teams advance to the semifinals, both boys and girls team.
Hang your hat on that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's only, to my knowledge, it's only been done one other time, and that was Northwest, and I believe that was in 22.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
When they
I'm impressed.
Yeah, the boys went on to the final, and the girls got knocked out by Jefferson that year.
And the boys lost to Southeast in that final. If we just put it.
Hey, don't put your Southeast badge on.
I was there. We got the red card, but whatever.
But like I said, then you had the boys. They had a battle through 2 games. They and both teams that they played that last week were both from the Columbus area.
Yeah,
they played the Columbus in the Elite 8.
Yep.
They end up winning in overtime 1-0.
Yeah, we can go to that goal. Mr. Goal himself, Mr. Clutch.
Cruz Marcena's your boy.
Always. We got 2 clips, got 2 looks at that. And you realize that's a really, really nice assist that's given to him. I can't, escapes my mind who the assist was, and my bad on that. But it was just a beautiful assist, and put him up, and you can see that run to the sideline. I mean, how much energy there was. That was a tough fought game, and I actually thought that was going to be the tougher of the 2 games. I thought they would handle Shaw, but I mean, credit to Shaw. Shaw came out and they handled business.
I mean, Shaw beat them 3-0.
I think that's so ironic. A team named Shaw beating them in Dalton.
Yeah, I didn't.
I like that
irony.
Yes.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Good irony there.
Yeah.
No, but
I don't like it.
I have it the same way. I think if they play this game 9 times out of 10, I think Creek wins it 7 out of 10 times. They scored. The first goal I saw was off on a free kick, and then then Creek started doing what Creek does. They started pressuring. They had a few opportunities that they were threatening and just couldn't get it into the net.
There's just some games it's not going to be like you're not, and you kind of start to sense that sometimes, and you kind of get this feeling of like, okay, it doesn't matter what we do, like it ain't going to happen.
Yeah.
And I remember you guys were texting me, and it was like 2-0.
Yeah.
3-0, and I was like, now we're getting into territory that I didn't feel like they were going to bounce back from.
So, but final thoughts on Creek season, boys. We just said the girls, they're young, they're going to come back. The boys,
boys lose big guns. I mean, they lose Cruz.
Yeah,
they lose Omar, and I know players are going to step up, but at a school that size, those are big losses, and they'll need players to step up. And I look at a couple of players that to step up there. I'm trying to names elude me. But
from what I've heard is the up and coming 7th, 8th, 9th graders that are playing club ball. They're all on the north end of the county, and they will funnel into that side.
Good news for them.
Yeah.
So the future looks bright. Let's just put it that way. And then if they're able to still pull a couple players out of Little Mexico, the trailer park down there,
Mexico
Chiquito, hey, watch out because,
Those are Juan's words.
Yes. But with that, let's get ready to go to commercial break. And when we come back, we'll have more Monday Night Football.
If you could live anywhere, where would it be? And what would it be like? Open up a world of possibilities when you sell your home and make those dreams real. At ColdwellBanker.com, you can get an instant estimate on your home, compare cost of living city by city, and learn more about our revolutionary seller's assurance program. So it really is true. Your dreams don't have to be just dreams. At ColdwellBanker.com.
Discover what a strong, locally owned community bank can do for you.
I'm Tyler Hudson of Shankley Training in Dalton, Georgia. We train a huge number of the region's aspiring soccer players. I moved my business and personal banking to Builtwell 2 years ago. It's important for me to work with a community bank where I know them and they know me. Because they make things easy for me, my bank is Builtwell.
Member FDIC.
Hey, and welcome back to Monday Night Football. We have a very special guest here. You may know him as the goalkeeper for Dalton Academy, Mr. Freddie Reynoso. Freddie, thanks for joining us on Monday Night Football.
No, thank you for inviting me. It's a big moment for me.
Hey,
there you go. What's more nervous, being here or being between the posts?
Nah, being between the posts all day. I always be nervous before a game.
Wow. Let's go ahead and talk about that because I want to ask you, Freddie. So, I've watched a good bit of your games, and I mean, Dalton Academy, the way y'all played in that state journey that y'all had. I watched that game live. Me and my brother were watching it. Incredible. Freddie, what does it feel like playing such a pivotal role as a goalkeeper? Now, the reason I say that is, sometimes goalkeepers, they don't get much of the praise if everything's going good. But you, Freddie, were responsible for a lot of your team's advancement. How do you feel being such a pivotal role in the Dalton Academy between the posts?
I mean, I think personally for me, because I don't want to speak for other goalkeepers, but I know for me, I was more happy because for the past 2 years, I haven't really played. I'm a junior, so my freshman and sophomore year, I only played JV. But this year, with the big switch up, I felt a lot more pressure, but I felt more excited and more happiness playing a lot more and knowing that I was helping my team do something while other people didn't think we would do anything.
Dude, as the playoff run continued and getting to the playoffs, your legend just kind of continued to grow, and you're like, what's he gonna do? He's gonna stand on his head this game and save a goal. It just got kind of wild. And so I'm sitting here watching you, and then I get informed that you actually have a prosthetic. Is that correct?
Yes, it is correct.
Could you tell us a little bit about how you got that and just how that affects your game? Because we know you don't take goal kicks, correct?
Yeah, I do not take goal kicks.
Okay.
Well, it started when I was born. So when I was born, the doctors told my mom that I wouldn't have an ankle or a foot. And at first, they didn't think I would be able to walk. I mean, the doctors told me I wouldn't walk, and I wouldn't be able to do anything basically on my own if it required walking. And then we found this doctor in Atlanta, and he said that he could help us. So my mom took the chance. And they always tell me every time I ask, because I always love wondering how, when I was younger, because I don't remember personally. They always told me when they put the leg on me, I started running, I started walking.
That's awesome.
I was off as soon as I got it.
Wow.
So
so you took to it pretty well.
Yeah, I think I did.
And is this your right foot or left foot?
It's my left foot.
It's your left foot. Okay. So is that are you right-footed? Like you're naturally your plant foot? I mean, I saw you blast the ball out of the goal.
Yeah, my plant foot is my left foot because I just plant on the ground, and I still just boot it out with my right.
Good deal. Well, it's absolutely incredible because I watched highlights and I had no clue. And then you kind of took a knock at the end of one of the games, right? At the end of the first playoff game, I think a player
at the very end, final whistle, you went for the ball. Player knocked into you, and you scared me, even me, brother, because you were knocked down.
I know what game you're talking about. Yeah, I remember. It's because I came out for the ball, and at first I thought he had stopped because the final whistle blew, everything went off, and right before I get up, I just feel his foot hit straight into my back, and at first I was scared because I couldn't move, and I didn't want to think the worst, but after the breathing in and out, I just started standing up and I felt better.
So does having, you said you've had it since, obviously from birth, and you've had this prosthetic. Do you even think about it anymore when you're playing, or is it just a part of you? And because when I'm watching, I can't tell.
No, when I'm playing, I don't really think about it much. I just focus on the game and I try to do my job. But if you were to ask me like a year or two ago about it, I think my answer would be along the lines of it's always affecting me. Like I never could really get used to it because at certain moments, different things would happen. Like my leg would start hurting, or I could feel and hear a clicking sound from the bottom. And me personally would get worried. Like against Northwest, my leg had broke, so I had to quickly tape it up and get back on the field. And even though I knew it was gonna break more and I wouldn't be able to walk anymore for at least like maybe the rest of that day, I still played on because I wanted to keep playing.
Wow.
Can you imagine how people can say that? My leg broke during the middle of the game.
And I just played through it. We're good.
So let me ask you this. Back to that game that you had where you won 1-0. You had such a key save in that game to keep it. I mean, look at you smiling over there.
Yeah. That's when you know.
You had such a key moment. I'm so curious, my brother. What made you choose to be in that position of a goalkeeper?
Well, growing up, my dad put me and my brother into soccer at an early age. I was playing with people that were twice my age. And at first, like, I didn't like running because it hurt to run. And I didn't really like doing anything. And I was going to quit soccer as soon as my dad let me. And then he told me that he would never let me quit. So that'll do it. So at that point, I just embraced it. And
that's a dad right there.
That's a Mexican dad for sure.
Yeah.
But,
you thought you were out. You're still in.
Yeah, I am. But he told me that I would keep playing. And he would tell me to try goalkeeper because it wasn't fully on my legs. It would just be like every now and then it would start. So that's when I started playing, and ever since then I haven't looked back.
I'm sure you had like I heard there was like kind of a decent player that was taking some shots at you too as when you were growing up, maybe
yeah
your brother is he all right?
Yeah, I guess he's okay. I mean,
he's all right.
Yeah, he's okay. So I mean, of course I blocked him. I mean,
yeah. So what's you and your brothers like? You growing up playing soccer with him? Like what was that like?
Oh, for me,
for those of you who don't know, his brother's Andy Reynoso, former Dalton Academy player, standout. So shout out Andy.
For me, I honestly idolized him. I wanted to be just like him, but I knew I couldn't. But I wanted to
because you had to be better, right?
Yeah, I had to be better. But no, I knew I wouldn't be on that same level. I didn't know if I was gonna be under or above. But I wanted to be above him. But I knew it was gonna be harder. And honestly, being his brother, it brought a lot of shadow. Like everyone always looked down on me, or they knew me because of him.
Mm-hmm.
They would always call me Andy's brother. They wouldn't really know my name. So I knew that if I wanted to start standing out, I would have to show up for myself, and I couldn't rely on Andy. But I mean, He's a great brother. I think he's one of the reasons that I am still playing. Because this year I struggled a lot mentally. I think right before we got into playoffs, I was really struggling. I didn't really know. I really felt the pressure a lot this time. And I always talk to Andy, and he always tells me, because he struggled with the same things. And he gave me that motivation, and he gave me that confidence that I think I couldn't find within myself to bring out. So I really do love him. He's one of the best brothers I think someone could ask for.
Beautiful. And I can't tell you, my man, because during your performances, in fact, this last one, I texted your brother, oh my God, what a save your brother just made. And, he texted me back, man, I am so proud of him. So I can tell you, man, your brother is just as proud of you.
Yeah, the love goes both ways.
Yes. Any last words you would want to say to our fans here? What can we look forward to? Maybe are you planning to continue this next season?
Yeah, I'm going to continue playing for TDA my senior year. I think with everyone that we think is coming back and who's going to be playing for us, we should be able to be a standout the next year. So
good.
Be on the lookout for us.
Absolutely. Book it right there.
Well, the legend of Freddie Reynoso will continue to grow. Stay with us. And Freddie, thank you so much for coming on with us.
Thank you for inviting me.
Stick around.
I'm Dr. Michelle Little.
And I'm Dr. Kayla Juba with Foundation Direct Family Care. We wanted to start a membership-based primary care practice.
But we're doctors, not business people.
I'm Kylie Roy with Builtwell Bank. I listen to their pitch and help them scale from startup to owning their own building.
Builtwell sees the value of small businesses in the community and supports their ingenuity.
Because every business owner doesn't have an MBA, our bank is Builtwell.
Member FDIC.
Who's up for some football?
That's not football. This is football.
And Eddie, there's one thing that we all can agree on. That's it. North Georgia is the home for new and pre-owned vehicles. And don't forget accessories, parts, service, and collision needs.
Claro que sí se puede. Come see us.
Hey, that's our part.
And welcome back to Monday Night Football. There you all just saw an interview with Dalton Academy goalkeeper.
Man, just some
Freddie
dynamite interviews.
Absolutely.
And you know what? His story, man, obviously, like he said, he was always in the shadow of Andy because that's his older brother. He was a standout player there for Dalton Academy, man. But Freddie.
Not now.
No,
Freddie's his own.
Freddie's making his own thing. And then the story behind his, upbringing and no quit. I mean, that just goes out there to show, hey, look, if he can do it, that means anyone can do it. You just got to have the heart to do it and just keep fighting. So, but hey, let's get ready to go.
I don't want to talk about it.
From Dalton Academy to Dalton High.
Dalton High. I mean, so it's just
heartbreaking.
And
if you told me when I was 18 years old that I would be hurt when Dalton High lost, I would have laughed at you, and I would be like, I will dance on the ashes.
You tell me that
Burn
last
it down,
year.
and I will dance on the
100%.
ashes.
But
now, man, it hurts.
I completely understand where you're coming from.
I don't even want to talk about it.
Literally, I thought I was going to be like, hi, every year it used to be, Dalton High lost, but now it's like, oh my God, why? I was there in silence.
So let's go down to it. I mean, like I said, Dalton's had. I mean,
let's start out with the St. Pius.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
I was watching that from Vegas. I
don't want to go.
I was weaving the story in. So
just weave away, sir. You're a storyteller.
I was weaving it in, saying, look, for Dalton, they played St. Pius, but then before St. Pius, they had to play Pace Academy. So there's back-to-back private schools, and then obviously they came out St. Pius, very tough game.
Mm-hmm.
They came out on top 2-1 in the Elite Eight.
What did you guys think about their performance versus St. Pius?
That's a tough question.
It's
a lot of stuff.
I mean, I feel, and I love this. And the thing is, here's the thing, and I tell this to everyone. I love that the fact that they play at Harmon. Obviously, there's a lot of history.
It's special.
There's there's a lot of history. There's reasons why they play at Harmon, and they have their pedigree there. But to an extent, I think playing at Harmon constricts their ability to really showcase. When they played out at TDA at Dalton Academy State, or not Dalton Academy, at Dalton Stadium, or they played at a wider field, man, they play lights out because they're able to spread teams apart. They're able to run more. A ball that you think is out of bounds at Harmon is still in play. And they're able to bring teams out more are trying to compact the box because they're bringing people out wider. So, I mean.
I agree 100%. And it's like when you condense it down, a team that wants to get physical and muck it up, it's easily done in a field that is smaller because there's nowhere to go.
Yeah.
And you do get this, you can get hands on somebody. Having said that, when you get to the playoffs, especially at their level, when you're facing private school, it's survive and advance.
Yeah.
And I hate to make it sound and I hate to say like just throw style out the window. It doesn't matter how you get it done. It's survive and advance. And so that's why I'm not typically overcritical of how it gets done.
And St. Pius was trying to pace survive and advance. I think you said I got there late, but their number 10 was very aggressive, very shifty. Yes. I think they tried play a little more. I think from Dalton tried to play a little different style, factoring in number 10, but then after a while they decide, you know what, he ain't gonna be a factor. Let's go play in our game, and then that's when it changed. I think that's when they started playing more Dalton style soccer, and they were able to go up here. They go up on a Joe Gonzalez free kick. So
what a week Joe had.
Yeah,
I mean, and this, if you haven't seen it, look at his free kick. The he didn't call for a wall, and the ref never blew the whistle to saw it, and then boom, and Jason Longshore got this on his
booth cam. That was a great reaction. If you haven't seen it.
So
and get full credit to Joe. I mean, you catch a goalkeeper not paying attention, you punish him. And then we had a foul in the box. We get a nice view of that. I believe it's Joe actually makes a move on the left and cuts inside. I believe that's who gets the PK. And then we roll right into him converting the PK, slots it in nicely. And, that put him up. That ended up being the game winner. And then it's kind of crazy. We have that same story. PK, free kick. Yeah. PK, free kick.
I mean, set pieces with Joe. To be fair with Joe, a free kick is as good as a penalty kick. Even the ones he misses, hits the crossbar, gets it on target.
He's just getting warmed up.
So then they survived, and then they go on to play another private school, Westminster, third private school in a row.
Yeah.
They quickly go up 2-0. Let's go. Another free kick by Joe Gonzalez.
The free kick.
Which, when I watch the free kick, if you look at it, he's taking it from the far visitor side I'm assuming the goalie thought it was going to be a cross in because from the angle and where it's coming from.
He literally put it the only place that keeper could not touch it. It was just a nasty free kick.
And at this time, I thought the route was on.
Yeah, you text us.
I honestly thought the route was on. I said, 2-0?
And Juan had said he thought this game would be 3 or 4-0. And I think it could have been. Full credit to Westminster.
Yes.
They took a page out of Baylor's book and they stiffened their spine and they fought. And they got a call. They got a call, a PK. All of a sudden, things are they putting on pressure, and
then they get that PK, they score, they go in 2-1. You were at the game. I was watching it on TV, and then they score an early goal to tie it up 2-2. Which, I mean, we don't have the capability of goal line technology. I saw it hit. I don't know hit in. I think.
Are you talking about the
tying goal? No, the tying goal where I think one ref called it off and one called it in.
Oh, the offside.
For the one that Westminster used.
Yes. Because the linesman had flagged for either a foul or offside, but the center ref said no, it was good. That played a factor at the end of regular time because there was that controversy where the goalkeeper from Westminster mishandled the ball and it looked like it crossed the line.
Yeah, but from our angles, we know we can't take angles. We know what happens.
Correct.
But Westminster did what they had to do. Dalton.
And once you go to penalty kicks, all bets are off.
Yep.
I don't credit nor discredit a team for winning or losing in PKs.
Yeah.
It's kind of like throwing it to a judge's decision. Whatever happens.
Yeah. But like I said, getting ready to go to commercial break. But like I said, Dalton sees over with. But they will be packing because we know it's Dalton. They don't.
Absolutely.
They just reload. So that getting ready to go to commercial break, and we're going to talk a little bit of the final for Northwest versus Johnson.
Why should you choose OptiLink Internet?
I chose OptiLink because of the great local service. We know computers, and OptiLink knows internet with high-speed symmetrical uploads and downloads.
My customers depend on me for safety and security, and I need fast and dependable internet. That's why I chose OptiLink.
Some people say you can't have fast internet. I say, oh yes you can with OptiLink.
Experience the difference. Call today, 706-529-1313.
If you could live anywhere, where would it be? And what would it be like? Open up a world of possibilities when you sell your home and make those dreams real. At ColdwellBanker.com, you can get an instant estimate on your home, compare cost of living city by city, and learn more about our revolutionary seller's assurance program. So it really is true. Your dreams don't have to be just dreams. At ColdwellBanker.com.
Welcome back to Monday Night Football. We've talked about our teams that didn't end up making it. Now let's talk about the team in the final.
Before we go there,
I don't think I'm done.
Before we go there,
we're not done yet.
No,
we're not done yet.
Before we go there, so a little bit of just going back on the Dalton, a little bit of history here. So this is the second time in school history. Every year that Dalton's made it to the semifinal, they've always made it to a final, except for 2017. When they lost to Gainesville, and now this 2025 team.
Yeah.
Thank you to Coach Jim Wicks for giving me that little bit of history.
Yeah, that's.
I was going to say
he's good for it.
Had never. He thought that was the first time that they had not, but then he went back and he corrected me, and then he corrected me and said, "No, 2017 we lost to Gainesville in the semifinals, but this is the second time." You got to think about if they make it a semifinal. It has always been automatic. They've got 7 state titles, 2 runners-up, 9. They've been to 11 semifinals. So.
Well, we'd be remiss if we didn't mention that the semifinal did not have one Chappies Garcia.
Very true. Very true.
Like removing him from that team is such a big deal.
Yes.
It really can't be overstated. Having said that, I do feel like if you look at the goal scorers throughout the playoffs and the run up to the playoffs, I felt like there might have been. I was surprised there wasn't more variety in the goal scorers than Joe. I thought you would see Luis on the board more. I thought you would see Chappies on the board more. I thought you would see, maybe some helpers chipping in from the back line.
Because if you look, a lot of their goals were either set piece or PKs.
Yeah, which is a little shy. Yeah. And I don't know if that goes back to the physicality of these teams that are coming in and the athleticism, being able to shut down those spaces.
But you also got to think about when you're in the playoffs, especially 4A. Dalton had to play Kell, Pace, St. Pius, Westminster. Those are no slouches.
No.
Right.
So they're just used to playing great soccer, and they try to take out your best players, and that's how it happened. But like I said, it is what it is. Sure. They will come back. But with that, Todd, your alma mater.
Yeah.
They have a chance. They have a chance to become the third most successful team in Whitfield County.
Yeah.
Behind Dalton with 7, Southeast with 3, Coahulla currently has 2.
So they'll be tied.
Yes.
They'll be tied.
They'll be tied. They're actually going to be tied for championship final appearances now.
Yeah, they couldn't pull it off against Southeast a few years ago, and that was a great what a game, and they just had an amazing game just a few weeks before that. So yeah, look, it's going to boil down to this. We don't know the deal with the suspensions. We don't know if those players are going to be back. I'm going to assume they will be back.
So a question about the players. Were they starters or were they bench players?
One starter for sure.
Okay.
I don't want to mention names, but one starter for sure. Okay. And I know I saw a couple of bench players run out there, and I know when bench players go out there, that's an automatic red. Okay. So I'm assuming that's the other 2.
Okay.
Having said that, they covered it against Jefferson, and it's Chris Tapia's team. And he's like how Chris Tapia goes. How Chris Tapia goes is how this team goes. He's going to be feeding those in. And Connor has been on fire through the playoffs. He was on fire on the playoffs last year. And then can you have a guy like Fabian Navarro pop up and get one? Can you have a big performance by Neary in goal? It's somebody else is going to have to step up against a Johnson and make a play or multiple plays.
What about you, Diego?
What I want to see, Northwest has had such a good season. I want to see such a rallying cry around Northwest. I don't care if from Dalton, like Southeast, even Murray, Dalton Academy. I want everyone to be like, hey, support Northwest. I want to see the Dalton Instagram soccer page, the Southeast soccer page. Hey, let's cheer on Northwest.
I don't know if you'll see that.
I don't know if you'll see that.
I like the mentality.
I want that just due to the fact that there's only one left of Soccer Town.
I mean, I think you have more of a Coahulla Creek, maybe Southeast given.
See, here's my thing, because I know you
county school.
You had a rivalry on this season between Northwest and Northwest fans, or lack of. But
I think you'll get more of that crossover support now than you would have 10 or 12 years ago because of the club scene.
Correct. Yeah, we always whine about the club scene because of the lack of rivalry. But now let's get the positives of it.
But like I said, I think it's going to be I don't think it's going to be a tough matchup as it has been in seasons past. Now, keep in mind, I think they were supposed to played during the regular season, if I'm not mistaken, but I think it got weather or something, I think, in that game.
And if I'm not mistaken, Johnson put Northwest out last year in the semifinal, and that was at Johnson.
That was with a more stacked Johnson squad. This squad has, they got the 1-0 or 2-0 win over Calhoun, which is a common opponent for Northwest. But I think we've all attributed that Northwest maybe had an off game, and Calhoun just had a up game because they had, they were
no discredit to Calhoun, amazing season.
But I think Coach Isa's going to have them ready. He's going to have them in this shape. We've talked to him off air. How he mans up to play a Dalton team, what he does, so I think they're going to have it. Like you said, Chris style, Toppy is going to have to do that. Connor style is going to have to do his thing. But yeah, and I think before that, so I'm going to Northwest to bring another state title to Soccer Town.
Agreed.
I just want to let's get it done. All right, with that, guys, this is our final episode of the season. And with that, I would like to say that this is our first group of players that have been with us all 4 years. We've known you guys since you were freshmen. And to that, I have some parting words, if you will just bear with me. To the senior class of 2025, we want to say thank you. Thank you for all your hard work and dedication to the sport that we love. Without you, there is no Monday Night Football. There is no Soccer City Cup. There is no state champions. There is no Soccer Town USA. There's no Soccer Town celebrations. There's no Soccer Town scholarship, and no awkward post-game interviews that we ask you to do. We grew with you. You were the first class that thought awkward post-game interviews were normal. You made this show possible with your tireless training in the offseason and your gutsy performances on the field. You chose to share with the community your triumphs and your heartaches through the show, and you did so with excellence in character and sportsmanship. Our only ask is that you remember the people that gave of themselves to get you where you are today. The trips to practices, games, tournaments, coaches, and the people that gave you inspiration and a word of encouragement. When the time comes, maybe tomorrow or years from now, take the opportunity to give back, to be that person to someone else. So again, we thank you for allowing us to be part of it. Soccertown is better because of the legacy that you left behind. Until next year, keep hustling, keep doing your thing, Soccertown, and we'll be here to tell your story. See you in 26 Monday Night Football.
Oh, yeah. Dang, Todd, you made me almost cry there.
Keep it together, boys. We'll see y'all next year.
Well, we got 15 seconds.
No, net 50. You ruined my ending.
Okay.
It was such a heartfelt moment.
Juan.
I was going full Barbara Walters.
Well,
and
I
you
could have
just stole the
sacrificed
moment.
it.
I was
This
just
is
trying to see if we
terrible.
were bringing Diego back
Oh
next
my
year.
If y'all
gosh,
ask me,
he's
I'll
back.
come back.
Okay.
I'll be back. Sign the contract.
All right.
Bye,
With
guys.
that, we're saying bye.
y'all.
That was awesome.
I love that.
If you could live anywhere, where would it be? And what would it be like? Open up a world of possibilities when you sell your home and make those dreams real. At coldwellbanker.com, you can get an instant estimate on your home, compare cost of living city by city, and learn more about our revolutionary seller's assurance program. So it really is true. Your dreams don't have to be just dreams. At coldwellbanker.com.
Why should you choose OptiLink Internet?
When I work from home, I need fast, reliable internet. OptiLink provides that with no hidden fees.
Our customers depend on us for great service and quality. And that's why we chose OptiLink Internet.
As we serve the needs of our clients, we need reliable internet service. That's why I chose OptiLink as my hometown provider.
Some people say you can't get fast internet. I say, oh yes you can with OptiLink.
Experience the difference. Call today.
Discover what a strong, locally owned community bank can do for you.
I'm Tyler Hudson of Shankley Training in Dalton, Georgia. We train a huge number of the region's aspiring soccer players. I moved my business and personal banking to Builtwell 2 years ago. It's important for me to work with a community bank where I know them and they know me. Because they make things easy for me, my bank is Builtwell.
Member FDIC.
Here's two of the nicest guys in the car business.
Hey, it's Eddie and Greg from North Georgia Toyota. We're taking a little break from doing commercials, do a little fishing. Hey, I'm not fishing, I'm catching. All right, hang in there, don't let it get away.
Don't let your big deal get away at North Georgia Toyota.
Greg, some listeners gonna say, we can't do that. What do we say? We say, oh yes, we can. And it's only at North Georgia Toyota in Dalton. Come see us. Bring it in.
To advertise your business on TV, contact Elliott Media at 706-529-4237.